All right. Hey, everyone, and welcome. Get ready to buckle up because today we are taking a grand tour of our cosmic neighborhood. And trust me, it's going to be a wild ride. No, I mean, have you ever really looked up past all the city lights and just wondered? It's a huge question, one that people have been asking since, well, forever. What is actually going on up there? Well, spoiler alert, you're not just staring into empty space. You are part of this enormous, amazing place called the solar system. Think of it like your home address in the universe. And today, we're going to go meet the neighbors. So let's start with our cosmic address. Every neighborhood's got that one central figure, the one everything kind of revolves around. For us, that's our star, the sun. And calling it the landlord, yeah, that's a bit of an understatement. I mean, check this out. The sun's dominance is just, wow. It makes up 99.8% of all the stuff in the entire solar system. And that tiny little sliver, that 0.2%, that's everything else. The planets, the moons, the asteroids, even you and me. It's that massive gravity that keeps our whole cosmic block party from flying apart. Okay, so let's go meet the planets huddled up close to the big guy. These are the inner rocky planets. They're small, they're dense, and, you'll see, they each have their own little attitude problem. First stop, Mercury. This little guy is the speedster of the solar system. It's the closest planet to the sun, and it is a world of total extremes. We call it a mood swinger for a very good reason. See, Mercury has pretty much zero atmosphere to hold on to heat, so the side facing the sun is absolutely scorching, and the side facing away is unbelievably cold. It also zips around the sun so fast that 1 year on Mercury is just 88 Earth days. You'd be having a birthday party, like every 3 months. Our next destination is Venus. You might hear people call it Earth's twin sister since it's about the same size as our planet, but let me tell you, this is one family reunion you would definitely want to skip. So what's the deal? It all comes down to its atmosphere. Venus is wrapped up in this thick, crushing, toxic blanket of gas that has created a runaway greenhouse effect. It traps so much heat that it's actually the hottest planet in the solar system. Hot enough to melt lead. Yeah, definitely not a place you'd want to visit for your summer holidays. And after all that, we come home, to Earth. Right now, it's the only place we know of that has this perfect, fragile mix of everything needed for life. Liquid water, a protective atmosphere, and, well, us. It really is our beautiful blue marble in the middle of all that darkness. All right, let's hop over to our last rocky neighbor, Mars. You know it as the red planet, right? Well, that famous color comes from all the iron in its dust, which has rusted over billions of years. So yeah, the whole planet is literally rusty. Get this. Mars is home to the biggest volcano in the entire solar system, Olympus Mons. It's 3 times taller than Mount Everest. And a cool bit of trivia, a Martian day is almost exactly the same as ours. Scientists are pretty sure it used to have water, which is why we're so obsessed with sending robots there to hunt for clues of ancient life. Okay, so we're leaving the rocky planets in our rearview mirror. But before we get to the big guys, we've got to cross this massive construction site in space, the asteroid belt. It's basically all the leftover junk from when the planets were being built. Now, in the movies where the spaceship has to dodge 1 million asteroids? Yeah, forget all that. In reality, the asteroids are hundreds of thousands of miles apart. Space is just really, really big. But once you're through that belt, oh man, everything changes. The size, the scale, what they're made of. Welcome to the outer solar system. We're in the land of the giants now. And first up is the undisputed king of the planets, Jupiter. This thing is so enormous you could fit all the other planets inside it. Its gravity is so powerful, it acts like a cosmic bodyguard for Earth, grabbing or flinging away asteroids and comets that could cause trouble for us. So, thanks, Jupiter. Okay, this is where things get truly wild. Jupiter's most famous feature, that great red spot, it's a storm. A storm that's bigger than our entire planet, and it has been raging for at least 300 years. Just try to wrap your head around that. All right, pop quiz time. We've got another giant coming up, but this one is weirdly light. It's so low density, in fact, that if you could find a bathtub big enough, it would actually float. Any guesses? If you guessed Saturn, you are correct. It is the absolute jewel of our solar system. And of course, you can't even think about Saturn without picturing those incredible rings, which are made of billions of tiny pieces of ice and rock, all orbiting together. All right, we're heading out to the cheap seats now, the far, frozen edges of our solar system, to meet the ice giants. First, there's Uranus, the weirdo. It spins on its side, probably because it got knocked over by something huge ages ago. Then there's its neighbor, Neptune, a stunning blue world with the most violent weather imaginable. Seriously, look at this number, 2,000 kilometers an hour. The winds on Neptune are faster than a fighter jet. It's just completely insane weather, all the time. So, okay, we've got rocky planets, gas giants, crazy storms, frozen worlds. But what's the invisible string holding this whole cosmic dance together? What keeps it all from just flying off in random directions? Well, it's a little thing called gravity. It's the force that makes sure all the planets keep circling the sun, that moons keep circling their planets, that asteroids stay on their path, and yep, it's the same force that's keeping your feet on the floor right now. It's pretty important. And just like that, our whirlwind tour is wrapping up. We've gone from the blazing center of our solar system all the way to its cold, dark, windy edges. So it's time to zoom all the way back home and remember our little spot in this huge place. Because really, when you think about it, all of this incredible stuff we're learning, it all starts with us. Just people standing on this little blue planet, looking up at the sky and asking, what's out there? We have learned so much about our home in the cosmos, but there are still so many mysteries out there. So yeah, our little tour is over for now, but the real journey of discovery, that's just getting started. The only question is, what amazing thing are we going to find next?